Home buyers get all of the love, especially first-time home buyers. Today's video is going to be for first-time home sellers and what they need to know from contract through closing. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Natasha with SoldByNat.com, and I help people improve their lives and build wealth by owning real estate. And I do that by enlightening, educating, and guiding them through the buying and selling processes. FYI, I am located in the state of Georgia. I also specialize in working with sellers, whether they're first-time sellers, they are expired, or FSBO, which is for sale by owners. And expires basically is a seller that tried to sell their home and for whatever reason it did not sell. It could be the price was too high, the home didn't show well, there wasn't enough marketing done. I do specialize in working with them as well. Also with families and individuals in transition, those that have a home to sell and are looking to buy a new home. So in most cases, they're ready to sell their starter home and find their dream home. That is my specialty. Today's video is for first-time home sellers. If you are a home seller, which if you're watching this video, you probably are, or you just want to get some more information, when you first met with your agents or you had your listing appointment, when you decided to list your home, they covered what you needed to know from getting your house listed, to now having people viewing your home, to getting a contract. But they probably did not spend a lot of time reviewing what happens from contract through to the time that we close. That's what we're going to cover now. Just an FYI, I am located in the state of Georgia. I particularly specialize in Gwinnett County and surrounding counties. This information should still apply to you no matter what state you're in, but to be on the safe side, normally I would say contact me and I'll answer any questions that you have. But if your home is already listed, you should contact your real estate professional. So watch this video, take notes, and then go to your agent and just clarify and have them explain anything that you have a question about. No matter how well you have maintained your home over the years, the inspector is going to find something. Like, I have never seen a blank inspection report. A lot of it is going to be like FYI and maintenance items, but they are going to find things that you don't see on a daily basis because let's face it, we don't walk through our homes with a fine-tooth comb periodically looking for things. It can be like electrical. We're not going in the electric box or in the attic, and we're not, combing the house with a fine-tooth comb. So just know they are going to find some things. Prayerfully, they're going to be minor things that are relatively low to get fixed. Now, the buyer has X amount of days to conduct their home inspection. If I'm working with a buyer, I let them know you at least need to do a home inspection and a termite inspection. So you can expect those, and normally it's done during the same day, and both inspectors can get in through the lockbox or the other agent, the buyer's agent, will meet them there. They are going to let me know when they schedule the home inspection, and I will check with you just to confirm that that time works. Preferably, you should leave the house for the home inspection. It's going to take about 2 to 3 hours. It does depend on the square footage, but I would say on the average size house, 2,500 square feet plus, it's going to take 2 to 3 hours for the inspector to do his work. And ideally, if you're not home, it kind of makes the process go better. Also, I tell you that it's good for you not to be home because most times towards the end of the inspection, the buyers will show up and then the inspector will go over anything that he has found. From there, the inspector is going to prepare a report and send it to the buyers. It's normally done within a day or two. The buyers will get the report. Then they review it with their agent and decide what items they are going to ask to be repaired, or they're going to ask for money to make those repairs. That money may come in the form of additional closing costs, or they can ask for it to come off the purchase price. At that point, we'll discuss, are you fine with making all these repairs? Let's just say there are 7 repairs, or you might say, well, I'm good with doing 5, but I won't do those 2. That's when I go back to them and say, here's what the seller's good with doing. And it's kind of a mini negotiation at that point. We have to come to terms within their due diligence period. Well, let me rephrase that. It's in the buyer's interest that all of this is conducted and we come to terms within their due diligence period. Why? Because if the buyers decide to terminate the contract, for some reason we can't come to terms and they want to go ahead and terminate the contract, they need to do so within the due diligence period. So let's just say it's 10 days. They have 10 days to conduct their inspections, get the report, review it, get it to us. We negotiate it within their 10 days. If they decide to terminate within the 10 days, they keep their earnest money or they get it back. If they wait till day 11, day 12, and now try to negotiate, I mean, you could still negotiate, but if we don't come to terms, they do not get back their earnest money. You keep their earnest money. If you are going to be looking for another house, I strongly suggest that you wait until we get past the due diligence period. I've even had people wait until they get past the appraisal period to start looking for a home, but it just depends on your situation. If you need to close on the same day, then yes, wait till after the due diligence period and then we can start looking for a house. If you're not pressed for time, it'd be ideal to even wait till after the appraisal comes in and then start moving forward. Unless you just have a lot of comps and we just know that the house is priced really well and we're not going to have any appraisal issues, then we can go ahead and start looking after the due diligence period. Know that if you agree to make the repairs that the buyers requested, it has to be done in a professional and workmanlike manner. Most buyers are going to request that it's done by a general contractor or a licensed professional, depending on what the repair is. Just say it's the HVAC. They're going to specify that they want an HVAC technician to do the repairs. They may also ask for invoices and receipts. So just, don't have Uncle Joe come and do the repairs. They may not be done correctly and we need to provide them some type of proof that they were done to standard. This also is helpful when they are repairs that they can't get to easily or can't see by the eye. We can provide them with the invoice and the receipts showing that the work was done. If we do not come to terms and the buyer terminates the contract, basically we're going to relist the house as active and start having showings again. So we're not going back from scratch because we don't have to do the listing paperwork over again. None of that. We just go ahead and put the house back as active and now showings will resume and we will wait to get a new contract. If you have not seen my video regarding 12 deferred maintenance items, watch that video because those are the most common items that come up on inspection reports. So you can go ahead and start making those repairs now. Start packing and making moving arrangements. Like I said earlier, I would wait until we get past the due diligence period and we have assurance that this deal is moving forward. And don't underestimate how much stuff you have and how long it's going to take you to pack. People are so surprised when they start pulling out things from under cabinets that they have so much stuff that they have accumulated over time. So don't wait till the last minute. Go ahead and start collecting those boxes and just putting them away in the garage. Just an FYI, the two biggest milestones are going to be due diligence period and appraisal. Once we get past those, normally the deal is going to the closing table. There are rare cases when things happen like a buyer loses their job or, the lender, something came up with the lender. They are rare and I am checking in with the lender and the buyer's agent weekly, and as long as I'm just making sure that everything's on track and we're moving forward. Worst case scenario, they could withhold some things from me, but I am doing as much as I can to make sure that this deal is getting to the closing table. 9 times out of 10, the deal is getting to the closing table. Next up, the appraisal. Know that you could send 5 different appraisers out to, appraise the same house and you will get 5 different values. There is no one exact formula that appraisers use. They don't have to all use the same comps, and even if they did, they assign different values and, it is what it is. But all of the appraisals should be within the same range. When the appraiser comes, I have had people stay in the house when the appraiser comes. He will not be there very long. He is not going to be as detailed as the home inspector was. Once he prepares his report, he's going to have a few days to get it into the lender. Once the lender receives it, it's going to take them a day or two to process it and put it in their system and review it. And then they send a copy of the report to the buyer. We will not get that report. Once the buyer receives it and reviews it with their agent, then they'll just let me know, give me a thumbs up, yes, the home appraised. They normally do not tell me what it appraised for. If the house does not appraise, that is when we will get a copy of the report. And I'll go through it, I'll look at what comps they use, and we have some options at that point. If I feel like the comps were really off, I will contact the lender and see what their dispute process is to get an appraisal looked at. Just know it's more oftentimes not a successful process than it is successful, but it is worth a try. Also know that it will add additional time on because it can take a few days up to a week or so for this process to be done and for them to review it. And they could come back and just say, no, the appraisal stands, or adjustments have made. Again, it's kind of rare that that happens. The other options that you have is to go ahead and reduce the price to what the appraised value came in, and we can go back to the buyer and say, okay, we're willing to reduce the price, but we're going to renegotiate these closing costs, and we'll just cross that bridge if we get there. If the contract price and the appraisal price, the difference is more than you can stomach, your option at that point is to let the buyers out of their contract and they get to retain their earnest money. At that point, you have to decide, do you still want to sell this home, or do you want to take it off the market and wait until a later date? Know that with FHA loans, the appraisal sticks with the house for, I believe, 120 days. So if another buyer comes along and they're FHA, that same low appraisal is going to be what they use. If a conventional or a VA loan comes along, then you can accept that offer and have a new appraisal done. I've also seen, it's rare, and it depends on what market that we're in, the buyer will agree to cover the difference. Again, it's rare, but in markets where it's high demand and all parties feel like the appraisal is off and this buyer really wants this house, they'll bring the difference to the closing table, but it is rare. Just know that if the appraisal does come in lower than we expect, there are ways to remedy the situation and to keep the deal on track. If this information has been helpful to you and you found it informative, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button down below and like the video. Also, if you know of anyone that will be moving or is thinking about it, please go ahead and share this video with them. If you happen to be a realtor and you have a client that's relocating to Georgia, or you just have family and friends in Georgia and you know they're going to be buying or selling property, I would love to co-op with you. Please don't hesitate to contact me. You can trust and believe that I will take as great a care of them as you would. Again, congratulations. Do not hesitate to contact me with any questions or if you need clarification on anything. I know that it's a lot and I know that it can be stressful, but please just pack your patience and just have some faith and know that things are going to work out how they're going to work out, and I am here for you. Have a blessed day and we'll talk soon. Bye.